What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, the two new upcoming packages, the $1.2 trillion physical infrastructure package, which is part one, and the $3.5 trillion, maybe even more, stimulus package known as the American Families Plan, which will be part two that they're working on both simultaneously right now. We also discuss on this show what is going on in America and what is going on in Washington, D.C. If you're new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day on our show, 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, hit the like button for us. It really helps out our channel. The Olympics started today amid an empty stadium with no fans, no spectators, and protests. The protesters saying that the Olympics should not even be going on at all amid COVID raging in Japan and worldwide, and protesters holding signs saying millions have died and they should not be holding Olympic ceremonies and sports amid COVID raging over there, people dying, and yet they're going to be holding sports ceremonies. Alas, you can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, but they are proceeding with the ceremonies in Tokyo, Japan. I think, though, however, this will be the first Olympics that I can recall, or that maybe ever, where there will not be any fans, any spectators at all allowed to watch them in person. So yeah, there will not be any fans in the seats at all. Yeah, it's definitely been a year or two of firsts. I can't remember a year of 2020 or 2021 ever being like this. Definitely been a year for the record books. Oh, by the way, speaking of sports, a lot of people have been asking me about that. That is a Mike Tyson signed boxing glove that my wife got for me. As you know, I like to have a lot of movie and sports memorabilia here on the show, as well as I'm a collector. So yes, that is an official Mike Tyson signed boxing glove. I like to rotate some memorabilia and some Mike Tyson, some movie props and sports stuff here on the show. I have a Nolan Ryan signed baseball back there, and that is my Ohio wrestling state medal. I was second in the state of Ohio for wrestling, and I was ranked ninth in the entire country at one point for wrestling. Yeah. So yeah, I know a little bit about wrestling. Wrestling will be in the Olympics here in a few days, so I won't be. Unfortunately, I won't be in Olympic wrestling, but it was a dream of mine at one point. Okay, a surprise ruling has come in. The Federal Appeals Court has found the CDC eviction moratorium unlawful. Okay, so this has come in. Now, this is not really that big of a deal because the eviction moratorium was set to expire here in about a week at the end of July, anyways. And the Biden administration had said that they were not going to extend the eviction moratorium again for another time, anyway. So the eviction moratorium was set to expire at the end of July, anyways, because the problem with the eviction moratorium is that it affects a lot of people. It affects renters, but it also affects landlords. And there's a lot of landlords, actually. I've read a lot of stories of like regular old mom and pop people who have basically, they tried real estate, renting. They go out and they get a loan on a home, and they take out a mortgage for it, and they fix it up, and they rent it out, just as an example, right? And they rent it out, and then the pandemic comes, and they're paying a mortgage on it. And let's just say, as a round number, they're paying $1,000 a month mortgage on that, and they're renting it out for $1,200 a month, right? So they're paying $1,000 a month on it. They're renting it out for $1,200 a month. They're making $200 a month on it. Bam, the pandemic comes, and you get a renter who doesn't have to pay the rent, and you can't kick them out. And I'm not saying this happens to everybody, but we do know that this type of thing is happening, right? And you can't evict them. So not everybody in evictions is, large corporations. Of course, there's large corporations that own thousands and thousands of, apartments and things like that. that's a different story. But they're not all like that. A lot of them are mom and pop, somebody who owns one property or two or three properties. And I mean, I've shown some stories with you guys here on the show where like in fact, I remember a story that I shared with you guys. It was like it was a couple, like a mom and a pop. They were like 60 and 62 years old, and they literally put their retirement savings into buying a property. And the renter who was in there had been in there for like 12 months and had not paid them any rent. And they had filed bankruptcy because they couldn't collect any rent, and they couldn't evict them either because of the eviction moratorium. So there is a double-edged sword to this eviction moratorium, and I'm not picking sides. I'm just kind of giving you guys both sides of the story here. So nonetheless, the Biden administration has said that the eviction moratorium, they are not going to extend it at the end of this month. Now, on the other side of the story, the rent assistance and the mortgage assistance is and was supposed to be helping out with that. And here's the problem with this. Just 6.5% of rental aid has reached the tenants and the landlords. Yeah, just 6.5% of the rental aid from the third stimulus check package has reached the tenants and the landlords. Yeah, this is a sad, sad story. And in just about a week, is the eviction protection is going to be up, and they've only sent out 6.5% of the rent assistance and the mortgage assistance. This is the government. This is the government at its finest. That's sarcasm. And when we go back and look at old articles like this back from March 12th, more than $45 billion in rent assistance was available. I would have been reporting this to you guys on March 12th. Here's what you need to know about applying. Yeah, more than $45 billion in rent assistance is now available. Now, some of you guys have gotten this, but unfortunately, a lot of you guys are probably on waiting lists. Yeah, sad, sad story. Now, probably the silver lining here is that, if 6.5% of it has gone out, we'll round up to 7%. What does that mean? That 93% of it is still available. So, the money is going to eventually go out. Honestly, if I'm going to blame anybody, I honestly have to blame the states. One, the states are way too slow at sending this money out. Two, the states are too strict at the criteria that they're sending the money out to. Three, the states are requiring like way too much paperwork. I've actually seen some articles that they're considering, and they need to consider this faster, lowering the amount of paperwork and the restrictions on the rent assistance and the mortgage assistance for this. Yeah, they need to send it out faster. They need to lower the restrictions, and they need to lower the paperwork. So if you're on a mortgage assistance or rent assistance waiting list, hopefully you get it. If not, I will give you a couple links down below in the description of this video, how to apply for this, some places I'll put you in touch with this. I have a couple different links I'll put down below in the description like this, where you can basically like click on your state, click on a map. There's different rent assistance and mortgage assistance programs available in different states. The good news is it might take you an hour or so to find these different programs. There's different programs in different states and different cities available, and there's more opening up as we're going on. States like New York just opened up a not brand new, but maybe like a month ago, like a new additional $3 billion rent assistance program. California just opened up a couple $billion program. So they're opening up new programs in addition to the money from the federal government as well. So it's there. They just need to send it out. Okay. So I'll put some links down below in the description of this video. If you got rent assistance in the past, comment down below so that our viewers know. Here's the thing. If you do get the rent assistance, or if you're on a waiting list and you get it sometime in the future, you'll be very happy you did the work, because honestly, if you get it, you're probably going to get like 6 months or 12 months of your rent paid. and then it's going to be like a lot of money. So if you get 12 months of your rent paid, I mean, if your rent's $1,000 just for like a round number, that's like $12,000. That's way more than a single stimulus check. That's like the best thing ever. You're going to be like jumping for joy, right? So it's a lot of money if you get it. If not, if you're just relaxing at home on a Saturday, um, it's worth your time for a couple hours. So I recommend you do it. I don't know if you're going to be on a waiting list or whatnot. You may have to send in some paperwork. You're probably going to have to say, yeah, I've been affected by COVID, blah, 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 blah. But it's really worth your time while we're waiting for this next stimulus package to go through. Okay, so the next thing on the next stimulus package is they're working on both of these packages simultaneously. Part one and part two. Physical infrastructure package, part one. Stimulus package, part two. And Chuck Schumer's most recent statement that I played on the show like yesterday is he basically says he thinks that they're going to pass in the Senate. Both of these bills are starting in the Senate this time around. In the past, we've seen stimulus packages start in the House. Nancy Pelosi is taking the back seat this time. So they're both going to start in the Senate this time. And here's what's going to happen. We're probably going to see a bill for part one and probably have it voted on here, I would assume here pretty quickly, okay? Republicans, from what I'm seeing, is they're on board. There's just that one or two sticking points that seem to be this. They're stuck on like some transit issues, which really doesn't seem to be that big of an issue. Again, this is like the final negotiations. So remember, negotiations go on literally up until the last moment because, again, once there's no more negotiations, then you have a deal and you just vote on it and it's yes. So a lot of people don't really kind of grasp that. Again, once negotiations are over, there's nothing left to do but vote and say yes. So a lot of people say, why are they still talking about it? Well, once they're done talking about it, there's nothing left to do but vote and say yes. Okay, so they're going to be talking about this until the last moment, and then it's write the bill. Again, they're writing the bill now as they speak. But what they're going to do is they're going to be writing the bill, and then they're going to basically make the last few changes. They'll go into the computer, change the last couple words, because again, that's the magic of computers. They can have the bill written, and then, like for example, when we talk about the second stimulus check package, they wrote that bill, didn't even have a stimulus check in there. That just seems to be the way they do things nowadays. They write these bills and don't even put a stimulus check in there and add them in at the last moment. I don't know why they do that. It just seems to be the way they do it. Either they want to keep us on pins and needles, or I happen to think, I don't know why they do this, but it's just, I happen to think that there's always these naysayers that happens to be that there's people out there that think the stimulus checks are free money and that we should, even with the second stimulus check, even after there was only one stimulus check, there was all these people that, and they still think this now on the fourth stimulus check, that there should be no more stimulus checks. Stimulus checks are free money. This is what the naysayers think, that there should be no more stimulus checks. People should go back to work. No more stimulus checks. Go back to work. We shouldn't be handing out free money. People in people in need don't need help. That's what the naysayers think. That's what they were thinking for the second stimulus check. That's what they were thinking for the third stimulus check. Even though the economy is really not doing any better now. In fact, unemployment just did worse this week. I remember reporting that to you like yesterday. And unemployment actually went up this week again. By up, we mean more unemployment this week. We had over 400,000 people, I think it was 419,000 people, filed for unemployment this week, yet again. So it was expected to be 350,000 people. It was like 419,000 people filed for unemployment this week. So yet again, unemployment went up. And this is with 25 Republican states not giving unemployment bonuses. So even without unemployment bonuses in half of the country, unemployment is going up. So with all the people saying, "Oh, people are just on unemployment because they're gaming the system and they're only there for the bonuses and they're only there to scam the system," unemployment's still going up. Okay? So you could kind of take that argument, throw it out the window, and now say there's a systematic problem. It's a pandemic problem. It's an economic problem. There's a problem with the economy. Here's the problem. 37% of small businesses have gone out of businesses. They're gone. The other problem is people don't want to work for $7.25 an hour. It's just not enough money. Okay, if you take $7.25 an hour, okay, here we go. Minimum wage is $7.25 an hour in 40% of the United States. That's the federal minimum wage, okay? Times $40 or 40 hours a week. That's $290 a week. $290 a week. Okay, so if you worked 40 hours a week times 4 weeks a month, you would bring home $1,160 a month before taxes. Before taxes. So that means after taxes, you are going to make, for round numbers, you're going to make about $1,000 a month, working 40 hours a week at minimum wage. If your rent's $1,000, again, we just used that as an example a few minutes ago. You're going to pay $1,000 a month rent and literally not have money for food. You're not going to have money for a car. You're not going to have money for a baby. You're not going to have money for any clothing, literally nothing else. Okay, now if you make a little bit more money, let's just say you make $10 an hour, okay? And you work 40 hours a week. That's $400 a week. And you work 4 weeks a month, right? Okay, that's $1,600 in a month. Okay, and let's say you're gonna lose a little bit in taxes there. So I don't know how much you're gonna lose. Let's just say $300. So you're gonna be left with $1,300 a month. Okay. And then let's just say your rent's $1,000 a month. Okay, so that leaves you $300 a month to pay for food, gas, a car payment. It's just not enough. It's just not enough, and that's at $10 an hour. Okay, and that just goes to show you that a lot of people don't want to work for tiny hourly wages. And this is one of the problems that a lot of people are a lot of companies are having right now. Literally, companies across America, Amazon, Walmart, large chains, literally cannot hire people. There's job openings, but they cannot hire people. And literally, Amazon literally is saying this. Walmart is saying this. Like huge companies are saying this. They're having to raise their minimum wage to $15 an hour nationwide because they can't hire people for less than $15 an hour because it's not enough money. It's not enough money. And anything part-time is not enough money either. It's just not enough money. I mean, rent alone, I mean, if your rent is $1,000 or less, or anywhere near $1,000, takes your whole paycheck. I mean, unless you have 2 or 3 roommates, I mean, you know, I mean, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think differently here, right? Um, so that's what literally like Amazon, Chipotle, Walmart, all these huge chains, Burger King, right? They're all having to raise their minimum wage to $15 an hour or average $15 an hour nationwide, even though the federal minimum wage is $7.25. They're having to pay double that because they can't hire enough people because people refuse to work for that. So even though the minimum wage is tiny, people won't work for that. And they surely won't work for part-time and work for minimum wage. It's just not enough. So people are kind of making their own stand in their own ways because who's gonna go to work 40 hours a week, 4 weeks, that's 160 hours out of a month, and not even make enough to pay their bills. Yeah, that's America today. So that's the economic problems, and that's why we're seeing unemployment go up because the good paying jobs are not there. You know, and the unemployment bonuses is gone in half the country. It's an economic problem. Okay, people really aren't milking the system anymore. The $600 per week is gone. Okay. That's long been gone. And really 37% of small businesses are gone, right? It's this whole economic recovery. It's a very complex problem. Like I don't have a simple answer for you. And the 2008, 2009 recovery is really the simplest answer for you. And the simple answer for you is that that recovery took 4 to 5 years to recover. That's the simple answer for you. And that did not have a virus. That recession or depression did not have a virus, and that took 4 to 5 years. So if you think that a lot of people think that the economy is just gonna get back to normal in 6 months, or it's there now, and I'm like, are you crazy? There's no way it's just gonna get back to normal. And I'm like, unemployment's going up, guys. Unemployment's going up. It's getting worse. Even getting rid of the unemployment bonus is getting worse. The virus is up in all 50 states, okay? Even with 50% of the people getting vaccinated. By the way, that number is like really stagnating. Okay, it's really stagnating. We could be plateauing around 50% of people fully vaccinating. Um, we're gonna hit a plateau somewhere around there, and so vaccinations are plateauing. Unemployment's going up. Somewhere close to 40% of small businesses are completely out of business, and the economy is going to take years to recover. And the Democrats know this. They're going to pass these two packages, and then they have a whole year to continue on passing packages. They're going to continue passing packages until the next election. This is not the last two packages. They get more reconciliation cards on October 1st, which is 2 months from now. And October might seem like forever away. It's 2 months from now. They're going to continue passing packages until the next election. And then that's if they lose the House or the Senate. If they win both of them again, they're just going to keep passing packages for the next 2 years. If the Republicans win both, because it's like a dead even tie in both the House and the Senate almost, Republicans are going to pass packages for the next 2 years. So, yeah, economic recovery is going to be a long time. Honestly, 4 to 5 years is probably my guess. That's what it was last time, and that was without a virus. Now we have basically a worse depression, and we have a virus to deal with. There's the truth. You want the truth? There's the truth. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you think differently, by all means, let me know. By all means, let me know. Because honestly, I think we have a worse depression. I think that this crisis is worse than the 2008 if you look at just the economic portion. And we have a virus that has killed 4 million people worldwide and 600,000 people in the US. I don't see any possible way. Honestly, okay, the only possible way it's going to be quicker is because of all these stimulus packages we've passed. We've passed 6 stimulus packages, 3 that had checks. We have monthly child checks going out. We could have monthly checks going out to adults here in this next package. We have Medicare 2.0 coming out. We could have Social Security raises coming out in this package or maybe the next package. There's a lot of good things coming out in these packages. That's the only way it'll be shortened. But let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date with everything. Make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day, 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss any episodes at this point. We're going to have a lot of new information coming out. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. This video is how to get up to $50 off your internet bill as a stimulus provision. Yes, it's true. And this video is how you can replace your 9 to 5 income by selling products on Amazon FBA. I teach people how to do that, and you can sell products on Amazon as well. And I've had dozens of students that have already replaced their 9 to 5 income. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.